Project Talk is PropTiger's initiative to apprise the home buyers about what is in the market and crucial information you need to know before making an investment. I am Sneha Sharon, your host for the day, and we have representatives from the Runwal Group with us today. Renewal Group is a well-known Mumbai-based developer firm and has a legacy of over 4 decades with significant expertise in residential, commercial, and retail spaces across Mumbai. PropTiger is India's leading real estate advisory firm to have served more than 25,000 home buyers throughout their home buying journey. With expert assistance on property search, site visit, and home loans, PropTiger brings in professionalism, transparency, and committedness at zero brokerage for the customers. Now, without a moment's delay, let me introduce you to the panelists. Mr. Karthik Chettiar is Vice President at Runwal. Mr. Nandkishor Narkar is the Project Head at Runwal. And we're also joined by the Regional Head at PropTiger, Mr. Nitin Gautam. Welcome all.
Thank you. Thank you, Sneha. Thank you for inviting us.
We intend to pick up all the questions you have sent across to understand what to expect when you invest in Runwal Bliss, the group's project in Kanjurmarg, Mumbai. But before we begin, let me show you why Tinseltown, Mumbai and Kanjurmarg continue to enjoy buyers' attention over the years. Here's a video for all our viewers.
Mumbai is a multicultural, cosmopolitan, welcoming and enterprising city. The city rises at the crack of dawn and doesn't sleep until well into the night. Whatever good things we build end up building us. Established in 1978, Runwal Developers have laid foundation on this very idea. With a legacy of over 40 years, Runwal Developers has been one of Mumbai's premier real estate development company. Operating in residential, commercial and organized retail verticals, it has over 25 million square feet of development spread across 50 delivered projects. One such milestone project is Runwal Bliss in Kanjurmarg. Kanjurmarg is fast growing to be a gem in the heart of the city. With the construction of the new freeway providing quick connectivity to South Mumbai and the existing Eastern and Western Expressway highways, along with the Jogeshwari-Vikhroli Link Road in close proximity, this evolving destination is the place to be. Located just 10 minutes from Powai, Kanjurmarg has excellent connectivity, growing infrastructure, proximity to all social and civic conveniences, and green surroundings. Runwal Bliss in Kanjurmarg is placed to be one of the best residential developments in the central suburbs of Mumbai. Built around a 150-year-old banyan tree, Runwal Bliss has over 4.5 acres of green open spaces and has been designed to provide a unique upmarket lifestyle experience that is hard to find in the city. Runwal Bliss, being the largest project in the area, will prove to transform the neighborhood and elevate it to the highest level. With lush green gardens, premium residences and a host of amenities, Runwal Bliss is poised to be a landmark unlike any other.
My first question is for you, Mr. Chettiar. A question perhaps looming large on everyone's mind right now. How do you think real estate will perform post the pandemic and this lockdown?
See, real estate as a whole, if you look at what real estate has been, there has been cycles. Okay, so if you look at real estate in 2008-9, okay, every decade there is some of the other things which has happened in terms of financial crisis or a pandemic. But real estate on a true sense have remained on a side where the percentages have gone down, but not at a drastic level. Take an example for a stock market where it goes down from a wild yo-yo from a 50, 60, 70%. This real estate doesn't work like this. Plus, apart from that, if you are investing in a real estate which is a Cat A developer, there should not be an issues like this. So that's what it is all about.
Any thoughts, Mr. Narkar?
Yes, he rightly said, even though this current scenario, we are able to do a good numbers. So that shows people are interested, and those who are really interested to buy this property, they are taking initiative and going ahead with this property. So as such, though, I don't see any negative impact for the same.
Mhm. Brands have to shoulder certain responsibilities. So how does Runwal Group go about it? How are you different in the market today? Mr. Narkar, I would like you to answer that.
Brand like Runwal is taking care. It's a basically a legacy they are carrying since last 40-45 years, and they have already delivered more than 65 projects all over Mumbai. That shows its commitment towards the society. In terms of Runwal Bliss, as you are aware, this project is already completed till 64%. So that also shows that the project is going ahead and soon we will hand over the possession. So that is how the things are.
Secondly, also to put it across, what is happening is if you look at Runwal as a group, okay, the biggest challenge today is if the construction will be on time or not. Okay, looking at the construction on time, if the construction is on time, this will only help. So we have our people placed at Runwal itself, at our site itself. So that will enable us to do our construction on time, which is so important.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Talking about the locality potential, what is about Kanjurmarg that drives people to buy a home here, Mr. Narkar?
Considering the locality, like Kanjurmarg is seen as a city center, and in terms of connectivity, see, as a Mumbaikar, people prefer to live centrally located where they have a good connectivity in terms of roads, rail, as well as international airport. Now, when I say Kanjurmarg, it is a city center. It is well connected to all the sides of Mumbai, whether it is Eastern Express Highway, Western Suburb, railway station, metro, or even international airport. And there are future infrastructure development is also happening in Kanjurmarg area. So for the people who are looking for such kind of location or such kind of development, Kanjurmarg holds that thing. And in that, Runwal Bliss is the best choice because we have a huge development. It's a 36 acres of development. It's a planned development. We have different phases. So, and we are going to come up with multiple things, not only residential, but we also have retail in our second phase, which definitely help customers to, get daily necessity and lifestyle living shops.
Mr. Chettiar, your thoughts?
I think so. Nandkishor has summed it up beautifully. I think so. On the product side, he is a product champion. So, and I think so. He has covered it up well. In fact, as he rightly said, this product is because it's a large swath of area what we have taken into. It covers everything. So, mixed development. You look at it. We will coming in a phase manner. The phase 1 is ready. Phase 2, we are just going to start in with retail, and the phase 3, in fact, we will come in with all phases. So, once this pandemic typically moves out, we are looking out for launching a new product altogether.
Okay. At this time, let me also ask our audience to keep sending across their questions. A few are already popping up. We'll pick up as many as possible today. My next question is for Nitin. Nitin, you know the pulse of the market. What is the mood of the home buyers right now?
The mood of the home buyers, it will be too generalized a statement to make, so it's really relevant that we break the buyers into two segments. And I've been repeating it quite often that the buyers who are looking for the property prior to March 2020, they have already finalized or shortlisted on the locality where they are interested. Some of the buyers over there have already shortlisted a few projects, and the sentiment of these buyers is now typically how hard they can negotiate. They wish to, go for the kill. They want to drive a very, very hard bargain and ensure that, either they get the lowest possible rate or the apartment at the more favorable payment terms. The second set of buyers are those who started looking for the property after the lockdown period. So what we have observed on our sister concern, housing.com, search results shows that immediately after the lockdown, the number of people searching for the property went down. But for the last 2 or 3 odd weeks, we have observed that the searches have grown drastically by as much as 25 to 30 odd percentage. So that really shows that people have realized, maybe by attending a lot of webinars or the exchange of messages over WhatsApp group or other medium, that in times like these, it is your residential property which not only secures you, but gives you some sort of protection against, the volatility of the stock market. So residential property is a real asset to have. So these are the buyers who are currently looking for the locality, for the list of the developers where they will be interested. So we are seeing the searches going up, and the sentiment even for these buyers is quite strong.
Correct. Yeah. So the sentiment is really strong. That makes me come to Mr. Narkar. High intent home buyers would want to understand the USP of your project. So could you just elaborate on the offerings now?
Yes. As I mentioned, it's a huge development township project we have, and we are developing in different phases. So currently, what we are offering is phase one, where we have 5 residential towers, and we are going to come up with we are giving a 2 BHK and 3 BHK apartment, a luxury apartment we are giving in this complex. And the plus point is that this project itself have a lot of greenery, as Kanjurmarg is 156 acres of land parcel, and out of which 36 acres we have, and a lot of greenery you will see in this project. So those who are close to nature, they like to live close to nature, this is a right choice.
Okay. Mr. Chettiar, now what advice do you have for home buyers who are safe at home now, looking at a property purchase but contemplating about the right time to make that move?
So Sneha, I think I'll tell you what there's no right time to buy a house. So if you are, majority is the time is that people are now not an investor, but people are actually a buyer, an end user. Okay, with the things coming in now where people feel that, there are so much articles coming in across that, real estate will go down by 20%, some say 10%, 30%. Purely depends upon the market. A-grade developers will not cut their price. Okay, so this is the right time to buy. There are 2-3 reasons. One, anyone wants to buy, anyone who is waiting, to get the right price. Today is the right price to get in, because they might get some deals here and there, and it might be the best deal, and they should buy.
Nitin, we have seen that project searches have increased on the portal. So how soon do you think will buyers adapt to the so-called new normal digital shift?
You mean as to when the buying will start happening?
Yeah, how soon will people adjust to the digital shift? As of now, we've seen people do a lot of researches online, but the final conversion, the sales closes on ground. How soon do you think the digital shift will happen?
It has already started happening. If you see, it's not as if during this lockdown period, there are no transactions that are happening. The transactions, in fact, are still happening. So buyers are adapting themselves to the new digital age, wherein most of the search, or rather a substantial portion of the search will happen online. We are going through these series of webinars. There are multiple products that are coming in the market where the clients can book, the apartments or the residential property online. So we are already seeing that shift. It is something to do with what transpired during the demonetization period. A lot of clients accepted the digital currency, Paytm or the other mobile wallets. They used it for the first time, and then they started using it continuously. So I think this overall lockdown situation will change the fundamental of the market. It has already started doing the same, and this trend will evolve over a period of time.
I think that'll be soon. So I can now see some questions pouring from the audience. We will take up a few right away. Mr. Chettiar, this one's for you. Why should someone invest in Runwal as a brand? Perhaps
that's it. That's the question.
About, why should someone invest in Runwal as a brand? What is your unique offering?
See, look into this, that, this brand is there in Mumbai for so many years. It's since 1978. Okay. In Cat A developers, if you look at it, there are hardly 7, 8 players in the whole market. It is always advisable to go with a Cat A developer. The reason being is, see, what is important for a consumer is when he's going to get his flat. Now, today, in most of the circumstances, you will see what will going to happen is with this coming in, you don't know how COVID, when they will stop, whether it is May, whether it is June. Some people are saying by September, everything will be right. So assuming that if construction happens from September, so whoever, it's a 6 months to 8 months delay. Now, in a Cat A developer, this will not be a challenge because cash flows has to be intact for any construction is important. So in that case, it is very, very important for end consumer that they book in a Cat A developer. And of course, Runwal coming to this name because Runwal in central Bombay is very, very strong. Okay, just to put it across, we started in Dombivli in last October, and it has been a huge success. In fact, PropTiger is one among the biggest beneficiaries or sellers of it. In fact, they have sold the maximum flats there. So as a brand, we are very strong. People see today there are 3 things which are very critical. One is the brand. Second is when they are going to give it. And third, if you look at it at what price they are going to get, and this will matter.
Nitin, here's one question for you. Somebody's asking us, there might be a price correction, so why should I buy a property right now? So I think people are speculating a price correction. Mr. Chettiar, would you like to answer that first?
This is a statement which is in every time it goes across. I'll give you an analogy in terms of stock market. Is this the right time to buy stock? I don't know. Is this the best time? It has a bottom it has come in across? We don't know. Similarly, in real estate is the same story. When the bottom will hit, you don't know. But as though there will always be questions raised at the such times that the real estate will go down 20%, 30%, 40%. But in a real sense, in a Cat A developer, the right time is, if you want to stay, buy at whatever price it comes across. Of course, you will get some deals. Take it and buy it. That's the best, I would say.
Correct. Nitin, would you like to take that up?
Sure. So Sneha, I'll answer that in 2 parts. First will be more to do with the investment philosophy. Karthik was also pointing towards that. It is very difficult to predict as to when the stock market has bottomed out. So there is no fixed formula by which you can say that prices will drop by X percentage. Nobody holds that crystal ball. Moreover, personally, I am a huge fan of Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. So I will just say what Warren Buffett has famously quoted is, price is what you pay. Value is what you get. So unnecessary haggling over a price will not lead to anywhere. The second, aspect to it is, we have seen the demonetization period. We have seen the introduction of the GST. We have seen the financial crisis of 2008 and everything. And every time people said, look, now the prices are going to drop drastically by 15%, 20%, 25%. I wish that were true. And, maybe Karthik or Mr. Narkar can throw light on the fact. I don't think any developer today enjoys 15%, 20% or 25% of margin. So there is absolutely no room for such a huge price reduction. You may see a little bit of price reduction, temporary that too, differing from developer to developer, from project to project. But it is not something that I will personally take into consideration.
To put this point in perspective, while Nitin has been very right in saying all these points, the major thing, in real estate is the land price. Please understand, all those deals comes in over a period of time. So the gestation period for, let's assume a project like Bliss would be where with its 36 acres of land, it will take 10 to 12 years, 10 to 15 years as well. So a land is bought at a price, at a certain price. There's a cost incurred. There is a fixed cost which will be there, and there are interest rates. So hence it becomes very difficult to the cost going down or a discounted price comes around 20, 30%. It will be marginal. Yes, of course, because the market sentiments will play a role here, depending upon what other competitors are doing. There's some here and there will happen, but not at a large scale. And the biggest thing is, please understand who discounts it. Okay, these are the players who will discount it will be players who will have a cash flow problem. Anyone who has a cash flow problem, he might sell the product at 40%, 50% also. But it is imperative and important to know that whether this guys will construct it in time and give it to you. So hence, it is important that you go with a Cat A developer only, not to get into lure of discount. Discount will help, but not that at that scale.
Somebody in the participant wants to know the occupancy status, RERA compliance, and the broad price range of the properties at Runwal Bliss.
Yeah, as everybody aware, this all projects are radar compliance only, and occupancy. If we talk about, we have almost done with 60% of inventory we have already exhausted. So balance 40%, which is in the due course. And in terms of pricing, we are ranging from 1 crore 48 lakhs onwards. So we have a 2 BHK in the range of 1.48 to around 2 crore plus. And a 3 BHK inventory we have, which is starting range from 2 crore 15 lakhs onwards.
Okay.
Also, to put forward on the RERA part, if there is a date which they are asking about, I think so it is December 22. What is the RERA date of time of completion?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. I think, I think that was a very interesting conversation today. We'll wind this up for the lack of time with a closing statement from all our panelists, beginning with you, Mr. Chettiar.
So my take is simple on this, on the philosophy of people buying. In fact, I have seen, there are 2-3 things which I have seen in this market. One is people who are on fence, they are still buying it. In fact, we are doing good business staying at home and we are selling this property from home. So this is some new concept which has come up. I think so digitally, this industry will go strong, which is not at the moment. So where, there are some attributes, if you look at it from lead to walk-in, okay, which is a very important stage. I think so that will improve over a period of time because everything will come in digital. In fact, my company is also looking into getting into this, where we showcase customers digitally more than he coming at the site first. So we are at the verge of doing that. Once that happens, I think so we will be far more successful. And third, of course, as I said, this is a market where you will find some corrections, but not at that high level. So anyone who is at fence, they should buy a property with an A-grade developer. A-grade, I would suggest A-grade because that is very, very critical. You should not burn your money spending into a category B, C developer where you don't know whether you will get your flat on time. Thank you.
Mr. Narkar?
Yeah, Mr. Chettiar rightly mentioned that now people will go with the digital marketing only or digital only because that is the only option now. And revolution is happening in real estate industry also. So we are hoping to see that as well. And second thing, also just to add on category A developer, the trust factor and the a timely possession, that definitely a key factor for real estate. So people should focus only on Cat A developer and trust them.
Okay. Okay. Nitin, your closing statements, please.
My closing statement is the same what I mentioned earlier. Yes, I do expect the clients to negotiate. The negotiation has to definitely happen, but eventually the transaction has to conclude somewhere. So I don't want any client to be in a situation where the negotiation has been prolonged so much that he ends up not buying the home at all. Eventually it has to end up somewhere, and maybe not always on the rate, but also on the payment terms sometime. So it's a good opportunity.
So that's it from all of us. Thank you, viewers, for joining us on Project Talk. We couldn't pick up a lot of questions because of dearth of time, but our relationship managers will make sure that they get back to you to solve all your property investment related queries. Stay safe, stay healthy.